One day that changed my life forever, almost like being reborn. I was a slave girl then, used for the money I could bring my owners. I shudder to think of my life as it was all those years ago. But perhaps, maybe, I get ahead of myself. My name is Ilya, although my name has been lost to time. I was born and raised in Philippi. My mother died when I was only little. I cannot now recall her face or even what she was like. With no relatives, I was left to make the best way I could, begging and stealing mostly. Occasionally, the coldness would come upon me. When that happened, I would see and say strange things. As I got older, these got worse. That brought me attention, and not always in a good way. A couple in Philippi realized that they could make money off me. Young ladies asking, who should I marry? Older ones wanting to know if they'd ever have a baby. Men wondering about business deals or next year's harvest. There is a lot of money to be made reading fortunes and telling the future. Not that I saw much, if any of it. My owners took most of it. Giving you a bed and food to eat is not cheap, they'd say. One day, I saw a short, bald man with a hook nose and bowed legs. 3 others were with him. They were headed outside the city to the river, to where the children of the Most High God gather to worship and pray. Pay attention, I heard myself call out. These men are God's servants. They know the only way to true and lasting peace. For several days, I followed them. Finally, the short man, Paul, as I now know him to be named, turned toward me. Ebony eyes seemed to pierce my soul, seeing right through me, right to the depths of my soul. Out, he cried. In the strong name of Jesus Christ, leave her. I don't remember falling. People told me about that later. All I do remember is feeling weak. But within that sense of weakness was also a feeling of freedom. Now, it did not take my owners long. Soon they realized what had happened. I was no longer able to tell fortunes or make predictions. I became useless to them, no longer able to earn them money. So they kicked me out. Once again, I was all on my own, all alone with no place to stay, no food to eat, and no money. Just the dirty rags on my back that pass for clothing. Later, I heard my former owners had Paul and Silas put into jail. As dusk drew near, I wondered what to do. Nights can be brutally cold, and I was hungry. Just as I was about to give up all hope, I saw a woman step out of the darkness. Susanna, I soon learned, was a part of Lydia's household. Lydia is a God-fearer and a successful businesswoman who trades in expensive purple cloth. Lydia had heard about what happened to me. Susanna came to offer me a bed in Lydia's home. There, I got a warm welcome, like they were glad to see me. You would have thought I was a long-lost sister, or at least a close family relation. For the first time, I felt loved. Loved not for the money I could make, but loved for me, myself. I remember asking, why? Why are you doing this? Don't you know who I am? What I've done? Of course, they already knew all about me in my past. There are a few in Philippi who do not know. Lydia and Susanna then told me about Jesus, about how Jesus forgives all those who cling to him and trust in him with their whole heart. They shared how Jesus is a powerful teacher, healer, and preacher, how Jesus commands his followers to show selfless love as a reflection of God's unlimited love for all. All, no exceptions, all, including me, even me, someone who stole and cheated people out of their money. Well, that day was years ago, and sometimes I still experience guilt. I feel as if I am a new person. I have been reborn. These days, I now help Lydia and have become part of the group that gathers in her house. One day that changed my life forever. God's love has made me forgiven, loved, and freed.